Welcome to Poppy's Kitchen. Today we're going to be air fry grilling this steak. We use all these gadgets to deal with the frustrations of living in an apartment with a smoke alarm and bad filtration. Let's show you what we're doing today. I've got a New York strip that was on sale for $8.99 a pound from Harris Teeter. Looks good. We're going to be seasoning that with Smokin' sizzling steak seasoning. You ever watched Hot Ones? You know this stuff, Last Dab? Well, now they've got the Pepper X that they're putting in it. Smokin' Ed grows the Pepper X. He came up with that. He made the Carolina Reaper. He's the guy. He has his own shop here, Fort Mill, South Carolina. He sells hot sauces and seasonings. I didn't realize that was a thing. So this is a steak seasoning that has Pepper X in it. So we're going to give that a shot on the steak. From there, we've got some broccoli. We're going to air fry. No promises on how that turns out, but gotta get a little green in there, right? Cooking it on this Ninja Foodie grill. Kind of cool. It's an air fryer, but you can put in this like grill plate. I've featured this before. I really like it. Links to all this stuff in the description if you're interested, by the way. We'll be making sure the steak cooks perfectly, at least to what I try to cook it to with this combustion thermometer. I really love this thing. I'll show you in a minute. And even though this thing does have its own vent, and it does a reasonable job, if we're searing a steak, it gets a bit extra smoky. So I've got my air hood to help me out with that. So first off, we're going to set this to grill. So we'll hit power, grill, start. It takes a while to preheat. These little lights will get all the way to the end and it'll be good and we'll get cooking. Now this little air hood is perfect for my pans on the stove. It doesn't quite hit where it needs to with this air fryer. So, they have the base boost. And this is too easy. Just take it, you pop it on, there's little things to make sure you get it where it needs to be, and it's been boosted. Now this is the combustion thermometer. Pretty cool. It charges in this little holder. This little screen over here gives you a readout of what the temperature is. It also connects to your phone. You don't need the screen, but it's convenient in the kitchen. Now you can do this before or after you season the meat, but we're going to go ahead and just stick this into the middle of the steak. It's going to give us a nice readout of what the temperature is while it cooks. And it's predictive, so it's going to tell us when to take it off and when it should hit our target temperature. Next, I've got Smokin' Ed's sizzling steak seasoning. We're going to get that all over this steak. I'm going to spread it out a bit, evenly coated. The best I can anyways. I'm about as amateur of a chef as it gets. And believe me, I'd rather be out cooking this on a grill, pan searing it just right in my all-clad pan. But the smoke alarm, the apartment life, makes it quite difficult. But I think this is a good backup, and I'm a pretty big fan of this setup. We'll get the other side as well, and then we'll get it onto the grill. We're also going to get my air fryer preheating, and it'll only take it about a minute or so to preheat, but we'll get that to its highest temperature. Get it going. The broccoli's just going to get dumped into there. Alright, so I'm going to tell this thing I want to go to... I'm going to tell it 125, because honestly I've seen the steaks jump up about 10 degrees after I'm done cooking them, and 135 is about where I'd like to be, give or take 5 degrees. So we're going to say 125, start, set that guy down, pop this one open, pop the steak on there while it's all nice and hot, nice sizzle, close her up, and that's going to go for 10 minutes. Whether that's correct or not, I'm not sure, but we can add more time as predicted. Now this whole kitchen's going to sound like a jet engine, but anything's better than smelling the smoke alarm, so we're going to get that going. I'm going to crank it up to 3, quite honestly. It's loud, but I really want to get rid of any smoke it can. Well, that's going. We're going to get a bunch of broccoli in this air fryer. It's going to fill it up, and we're going to start cooking. And we're going to keep peeking on it to see what it looks like. No mystery there. I'm going to add a little more here. Probably going to add a bit more after, but ta-da, let her go. Now I had the steak sitting out for a bit, and it is cooking fast. It's supposedly only 1:40 to go, so I'm going to flip this open. Get my air hood out of the way. Flip her open, hope the air hood gets some of this smoke that's popping up. Give it a flip. That's gonna get us some of these weird little circular grill marks on both sides of the steak. And off she goes. So far so good. This thing has not gone off yet. And just like that, one more second, it knew, 125. We're gonna take this guy out and stop the grill. Take the steak off. If we can. It's giving me a little trouble. Close her back up. And we're gonna stop this. That's gonna show a count up timer. And it's gonna show the temperature of that steak rising as it cooks. Like I said, I want it at 130 to 140, so it's already going there. There was a lot of smoke, a ton of smoke. I was gagging on it. My alarm has not gone off. So what I wasn't gagging on, I think this guy was capturing. Sure enough, it's starting to taper out at 138 here. You want to let it rest for about 5 minutes or so. So we'll give that a couple more. We'll go check on our broccoli. But take a look. She looks good, right? And that came off of this little air fryer Ninja grill. Cool. All right, broccoli's been on here a bit. I have no idea what it's looking like. It's starting to brown a bit. Could use some more time. Give it a little shake. Pop her back in. Let it go for the additional 4 minutes. I let it run that full time. Let's see. Actually, that looks about as good as you can do in an air fryer. So let's get it out there and we'll season it up. Take a look. I think it looks great. You tell me though. So I've got this Amplify seasoning from Hardcore Carnivore, Just Pryles, if you ever saw her on Instagram. This is for like veggies and other things other than meats. I think I'm gonna put some of this on there. I love this stuff. I have no idea if it's good on broccoli. We're gonna find out. You can season it however you want though. Use a sauce, use a finishing butter. And check this out, for my birthday last year, I got a set of these Wusthof Classic Icon knives. Upgrade from my other one I had. Not that that one wasn't great, but I love these even more. They're much nicer. Should hopefully last me forever. So here we have it. I'm excited. I'm gonna try everything here. I'm gonna show you. We'll see just how hot that Pepper X seasoning is. But let's give it a shot. First, I've got a piece of this broccoli seasoned with nothing but that Amplify. Needs a bit more. Hopefully you can see it on camera, but I've really gone ahead now and seasoned these things. That's really good, actually. I also like balsamic vinaigrette on broccoli. You guys recommended a ton of stuff in another video, and I've been trying a lot of that. Lemon pepper seasoning's not quite my thing, but that is a thing. You can try it. I wasn't a fan. You might be. Then we have the steak. Take a look. Nice and pink. Could be a little pinker. Has a little more room to go if I overcooked it just a little bit more. But I think this is gonna be good. It tapered out at 138 and then it started dropping again. So upper end of medium rare. Acceptable, I think. Very good, very savory seasoning. With this, honestly, I'm not gonna say delightful kick of this Pepper X, the hottest pepper in the world. But it's just enough that I'm not dying yet. It was a nice kick, I could feel it. Something that I think contributed to not too much smoke going on, and something you should keep in mind. As far as I can tell, this sizzling steak doesn't have any sugar in it. The rub I usually use for everything, which is delicious, it's this NA11, the premium everything rub. You can put that on everything. It's also got sugar, brown sugar, something in there. That burns, that smokes. This one, there was smoke, but not quite the same, so pro-life tip right there. So even with that seasoning, you know what I really love is some sriracha on here. I think this stuff is either no calories or next to no calories, and that's gonna give it a bit of heat, a bit of flavor. It's gonna be yummy. 0 calories. Yeah, let's see. You get a little bit of flavor from that Amplify still. But the sriracha obviously does start to drown it out a bit. But it adds a ton of flavor at 0 calories. There's another piece of that steak. Super tender, flavorful sear on the outside. Not as much as you would get from a good pan sear at a high heat, a grill. But again, I'm in an apartment. You might be too. You might not be trying to smoke up the whole place. That air hood does a lot of work. It's quite helpful. But if you sear a steak at over 500 degrees and you're just smoking the place up, it can only do so much. It's not God. But this steak, it's so good. I love that seasoning. The heat it's weird. You never have a seasoning that has heat in it, right? But this, hottest pepper in the world. It's tolerable though. And starting to build up a little bit. But I'm handling it. Putting more hot sauce on the broccoli probably just makes things worse, huh? Heat-wise. Broccoli's really good though. It's good for you. Actually, I'm really happy with how all this turned out. That combustion thermometer, there's other brands, there's other things. I couldn't tell you about any of them. I've only used this one. It's not cheap. It's expensive. It was like $200 for the set. It's crazy. But I don't ruin meat anymore. That's gonna pay for itself over time. Chicken's perfect, steak's perfect, everything I cook. As long as I do the temperature right, as long as I've at least done one, I know how much it's gonna raise up, about 10 degrees or so, at least in this thing. I've saved every piece of meat I've ever had. They're all delicious. So to me, that was worth every penny. I'm thrilled I have it. Make for a great gift. Yeah, I'm about halfway through this thing and it's a tolerable heat. It's really, really good. I'm assuming you can get this from his website because it's a whole store full of these sauces, and I assume not everyone's just going through Fort Mill, South Carolina, right? I just happened to be across the street at a brewery there maybe a month ago. I don't know. Saw it and I was like, let's go check it out. And you can sample everything. They're really nice in there. So many sauces, seasonings. It was really good. It was really good. Anyways, I thought it would be fun to try that hot seasoning with you guys, so I did a little, we'll call it a cooking video. I cooked, but let's be real. I used all these kitchen gadgets. If you're bad in the kitchen, you can do this too. This is easy. Even I can do it. I'm an idiot, so. Thanks for watching. Like I said, everything I used is in the description if you want to check it out, buy one, just see how crazy I am getting all this stuff. Check it out. Thanks for being here. Enjoy.